disappointed in the loss, and we started off with a situation where you absolutely can't have against Wisconsin. I mean, we had an interception for a touchdown for them off of after a drive that was pretty well done. So it was something I thought our team had a little bit better resilience than when that's happened before, which I appreciated. But those things against a team like that's pretty methodical, and eventually they're being as physical as they are. We just gave them too many opportunities and not early taking advantage of ours to put some points on the board. When we gave them that touchdown, and then this was going to, at that point, first, second, third quarter, a real tight game. We give them that touchdown and then don't get that field goal. Those were parts in there that you just can't be doing that against Wisconsin. So, and then that put us in that predicament where they controlled the good part of the fourth quarter and before that even. I think we had moved the ball decently at halftime, had pretty good totals, not much to show for it, and then I think we only had the ball for one series in the third quarter. Might be wrong, but something, not much more than that. Okay, questions?
What do you see as far as their last three drives that were just so different, where they, after you get the pick six and you're tied and they just take over there?
Yeah, pinned them too. We got in the position where we tied it up, pinned them. I think they had the ball on the 9, is that something like that, inside the 10, and a great opportunity for us. But they very mechanically, methodically, physically. Would they throw one ball on that drive? Third down conversion ball. So that's what happened. They controlled the ball on the ground.
How do you feel about Tanner's play and just the offense in general?
There was parts of it that for a while in the ball game, we were doing what we kind of, except for giving them the touchdown, which was a pretty strange looking play. It was just Divine just didn't get his head around quickly enough. Tanner dealt the ball. It looked like okay, but we did parts of what we needed to do to have a recipe for winning that game. I don't think Tanner got sacked. Am I right about that? I don't think he got sacked, and I think we ran okay, not consistently enough, but our production wasn't bad. I think Divine had another 100-yard day. So in that only was, I'm not saying that in total, but in parts of the game, that was what we thought we had to do. We had to protect Tanner, and we had to run the ball effectively. Now, we didn't expect some of the other parts.
I know you trust Diaco with the defense. What was your thought behind Kalu playing the whole game after missing 3 and Reed not playing?
Well, we did, somewhere in there, we ran into injury problems with Reed. Yeah, and Reed did not finish the game. He's got, we'll be able to tell you more in the next couple of days. He hurt his knee. I don't think he structurally hurt it. I think it was bruised.
Physically, your defense, did you sense that they were going to wear down, wear out, just by what Wisconsin was doing in the first half? What did you think? Were you surprised?
As you watched the game from the boundary there, it looked like we were holding it together okay for a time. And they're persistent and they're powerful, big, powerful. Back is good. We knew all those things. So, I think that probably the key point in the game was their response to us making the play to tie the game.
Pick six?
Our pick six, yeah. Their response to that was pretty interesting, and it was very physical.
Inevitably, I talk to Nebraska fans, they look at Wisconsin close do you think you guys are, not just on the scoreboard tonight, but just
Yeah.
generally speaking, to doing what they did tonight?
I think that, we don't have to be carbon copies, but recipe-wise, there are definitely similarities. Obviously, Paul and I kind of grew up in this thing together. And, I think we're absolutely, I think with what we're doing strategically with our team, as we put it together and go, we have to live in a world that is day by day, but think oftentimes kind of ahead of what that big picture in a good way will look like too, and establishing some of those things. So, the proof will only prove when we get there, how long it will take, but I feel good about where we're going. We have definitely made some progress in some of those areas. We've made progress within this season with some individuals running the ball, with what we've done in protection, with what we're doing with our passing game, and what we're more, I think almost as importantly, what we're not trying to do. We're being very thoughtful and selective with that. So we're making some progress. It wasn't good enough progress against that team that is really ready to do what they do real well. I mean, their run play action game is really good. I thought we started doing a good job on their bootlegs. We never really gave up any big hits throwing the football in there, which they usually get in ball games, big play actions. Our biggest issue, obviously, was the real big run that was right before the halftime. That was I thought a huge play in the game. And then the other one was their consistency with the run in that fourth quarter, which was, I don't have to explain that to anybody. You know what that looked like.
How close were you to having McHale available? He went through the warm-ups and all that.
McHale possibly could have played in a real emergency type mode situation, but we never got to that where I thought about playing him. When you have a guy like that gets back and might be okay on Friday afternoon, if you can get by without playing him, he's gonna be better off for it, and so will your team probably.
In the first half, when you got to maybe like the 39 and punted, did you think about going for it in that situation, or what are the factors that?
Oh yeah, I think that 40 to 33 is my gray area right in there, and a lot of times that is 4 down. I did not feel great about giving them any kind of short field at the time, however, so I decided to punt.
You mentioned the 3rd and 3, but you had to feel that was a pretty safe call. I mean, I know fans and some people say, well, why didn't you run it there? But you had to feel that was a pretty high percentage play on the play to Ozigbo. The play call, the interception, pick 6.
Oh gosh, yeah. I don't know that yet in a practice or a game that we've incompleted that ball, let alone throw a pick 6 on it off of top of a head. It's a pretty ridiculous play, really.
You guys were able to get Jones in the game tonight for a handful of plays. How do you think that he did, and how does he feel physically after the game?
You know what? I'm going to have to delay that response. I haven't talked to Chris. I haven't, I've been able to assess overall the play. I know that our wide receivers out in space weren't challenged a lot today. There weren't a lot of balls out there. But where our corners were more often challenged was condensed formations and making them tackle. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Their response, as you put it, to the pick 6 at the time of the game, did you expect Paul to, here I come, you're going to have to stop me? Is that his MO generally?
I knew there were 2 things coming. One of them was going to be the run, and the other one was going to be, there was going to be a play action, or probably, to keep the quarterback more out of harm's way, a bootleg that would make it simple. But he opted for just flat out running the ball.
Coach, the big number from today, 353 yards on the ground. Your 2 safeties led the team in tackles, so they're getting pretty far out there. Just I guess to put it bluntly, just what happened with that run defense today?
You know, it looked to me like we lost some spots when they were running the power play. We lost some force on the edge. We were getting engulfed, and they were actually making our secondary tackle by bouncing that ball on the corner and forcing, and then actually using the wide receiver to block the safety, and a lot of times forcing the corner to try to have to tackle it. So, you know, we probably with our front need to force that edge and hold that a little bit better than we did for sure.
Tanner went to JD in a bunch of big spots. I feel like he's sort of coming into his own as a playmaker, especially on third down.
JD, I'm excited about JD. I think for a guy that played more runner and DB in high school and is a redshirt freshman, he doesn't blink. He's a real competitor. He's going to get better and better as he understands how to play in that slot and the things that he can do in that slot. Pretty close to having a few other plays tonight. We threw him a corner in the end zone that you know, I think that he'll come up with eventually. We threw him an inside fade a little bit later in the game. I think he'll come up with that play. He's a tough kid. He's smart. He's really a great guy to have on our team. And I've had all different kinds of slot backs, and but his prototype is one that can really, I think, be exciting in there. All right, thank you all.